Hey, welcome. Just muting again. There we go. Yeah, I don't want echoes. So, welcome to Teeks Time. Your learning starts here. This is the weekly live. We have a Q&A every week. You can leave your questions in the comments, ask me direct, or join our free community and leave it in the Q&A section there. So this week we've only got one question, which is from Bella. There's another picture of joining the community. So it's free. So this question from Bella, which is, she was actually saying this from last week. So thought for next week already, the settings page. I've not gone through it in a very long time. What they do, etc., etc. Hi, Renee. So this is what we're going to be going through today. So first of all, where? That's the usual question. So let's go to that screen. So on your, I guess it's the document select screen, something like that. Where you pick your projects, hit it first, or start a new document, etc. So on the bottom left in that red, as you can see on the screen, there is the settings. So you click that before you even enter a document, just straight on the main screen. Settings just there. Now when you're in settings, there's different ones. I'm going to go through them. The ones in red are the ones that we'll talk about today. The other ones are just on by default, and I suggest leaving them there. So first off, the tab is called General. I'll just close that down so we've got more room. So the first thing that I want to draw your attention to is the red top one, and it's called Undo Limit. So if you've been going undo, 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 and then getting stuck, it's probably because the limit's too low. But bear in mind, this does take a lot of memory. So on later iPads, etc., no problem. I've got mine set to 128, if that makes any difference to anyone. And then the next question, the next setting here is actually quite interesting. Hey, Nikki. And it's called autosave interval. Now, I don't know whether it's a new thing because I've been wanting this forever and I've only just seen it. So, oh, hang on, I'm just reading the question. When is picture time? Time? Not sure what you mean. I can come back to that. I don't know. So yeah, auto save now. As far as I know, Affinity has never always saved. But on that odd occasion, you shut it or it closes down, and yeah, it saves your work when you go back in. But it's very hit and miss as to when it does it. Now this autosave interval is probably what's been causing that. So when you do get a lucky autosave that it has done, it's probably because you're right on however many seconds you set that to. A segment error. So yeah, autosave interval, probably need it right up. I've only just noticed it, so my swine's set to 300, but I will be probably setting that as low as, well, high as possible. I don't know, whichever one always saves it more, just in case Affinity does crash or something. Then at least you got a chance of it always saving, which is nice. Now on the right, the next red one is called Show Touches. Now this is interesting for teachers like me. So if you're trying to show someone, you get this little blue circle just like this, and that is where it says show the touches. So just like that. And if you put 2 fingers on, you get 2, etc. So that is the 2 there. Now this next one, very confusing. First of all, just gonna select that again, because that came off that. So the next one down is called present on external displays. Now this confused me forever. So at the May, we're streaming the whole thing. So it's like the tools, the top bar, the bottom bar, like the screen, everything. So if this one is on, you'll literally get just the screen, no tools or anything like that. So no good for teaching. And this took me a while to find out why. So if you connect your iPad or whatever to the screen, it starts off no tools because this is on by default. So that is one to watch out for. Present on external displays. So if you ever try to show someone something and you haven't got tools, that is where it is. So that one's always off on mine. One of the first settings that I have to go in and turn off. I don't know why I've got sound usage and performance data to Affinity. Not sure what I was thinking there, but I must have been thinking something earlier. So when you get crashes and things, that would send that kind of data to Affinity, and mine looks to be off, and I'm not sure why that is. But there we go. That's what that one does. So let's get on to the next thing, which is the user interface. This one. It's got a couple of tools on here that we need. Like I say, if it's not in red, just leave it, because it is like the default, and I don't want to mess with it too much. So we'll start off with left-handed mode, which swaps the tools on the left with the bar on the right. Swap them over. Obviously I'm right-handed, so I don't need that, but if you do, there it is. Show status bar, that's an interesting one I've recently found out about. So at the bottom, you see it says user interface selected, drag to move, etc. So it basically tells you what you can do with the item that you've selected. So it's like a help, if you like. So I've left that activated so you can see it. Generally I don't need it, but that is a cool one, especially for beginners, etc. So the other thing is the show undo and redo buttons. Sorry, my voice is really bad. So yeah, this one, as you can see, is on, and that is these buttons down here. So on, off, or undo, redo. So without that on, it's really confusing, and the amount of time that I have to undo something. It's ridiculous. So much needed in my case. So on to our next one, which is color. I know it says I spelled it wrong, and as you can see there, it's color with a U, but it seems like we're one of the only countries that spell it that way. So I always put OR with like a U for reasons of like showing other countries, etc. But as you can see, there's actually no settings selected in here, but they're for things like, I don't know, if you were gonna connect it to a printer, etc., that kind of thing. But I didn't do any of that, so I just leave it as default. So that's that one. On to tools. Now this one, I had to look it up when I first started Affinity, and that's rotation. And that is when you do this gesture, which we do all the time, 24/7. That needed to be put on. It's not on by default. And that is really annoying because you want to get right in just to that little bit of the drawing. Your screen color is different from the printer. Yeah, exactly. That's something to do with that color panel, and I don't know a lot about it, so I'll try and find out about it for you if you want me to, but I generally don't. We are very international here. Yep, absolutely. The other one on this page is called touch for gestures only. So this is kind of like palm rejection, if you ever heard of that. So say you're drawing and then your wrist or your hand accidentally touched the screen, and it'll jump to something that you touched over there. So this gets rid of all that, so that it will only work when you're actually doing a gesture like this, and not for just accidental like touches. So it would only work with the pen, just like you wanted to. RGB creates colors from red, green, blue for the screen. Just reading your comment. Yeah, it's all stuff that I don't really get, to be honest. You know a lot more about it than I do. So, anyone needs to know, just ask Nikki by the seams of it. So, where are we? Oh, yeah, the next one. So, the pencil is the next tab down on the settings. And there's two functions here. I have them both off, but that's my preference. So one is allow auto scribble with tools, and the other is enable the double tap. Now, because of the way that my hands shake and things, that is no good for me. So I just turn it off. In fact, in the main iOS settings, you can turn it off there as well, and it's turned off in the main settings for me. Otherwise, I'll be pressing all sorts of things because I'm not very good at holding things. So that is always off for me anyway. But that is personal preference. You can enable these, no problem. I'm just gonna go to our next one. So this is fonts. Now this is cool because you can actually get fonts just for Affinity rather than getting fonts for the whole system like you would do on Windows, etc. You can do it on iOS as well, but this is purely for this app, which I find more convenient in a way, because when you're in another program, they don't want so many styles with so many ones. It just keeps it just in this app. So you can get them OTFs or whatever they call them. You can get them on, I don't know, 1,001 fonts, Creative Fabric, that kind of thing. So you can get them from anywhere, and when you do get them, they'll probably go into your downloads folder. You then just press add and click that one, and it will show up just like that one in Redis. So you get a little view of what the font will look like, and you know that one's in there for when you want it. So you can go into this folder over here, the text panel, and select your font, just like that. So yeah, that one's cool. Just going on to shortcuts. Now, this is another thing I don't generally use, but you might do. This is if you have a keyboard, which I know a few of you do have a keyboard. So all of the shortcuts for desktop works on the iPad, and you can change them to whatever you want. So you just select whatever tool is or whatever, and then just select the key. Now you can apply this to all personas, or actually change the key depending on what persona you're in. But again, I just leave it all as default because I don't have a keyboard, so that doesn't really affect me, but it might do you. The next one we have is linked services. Now, it links. I have keyboard shortcuts. Yeah. Shortcuts thing work well. I wouldn't know because I didn't use them, but that is what I assume it does. Not ugly. You use keyboard too. Still the same layout that John gave us. Yeah, that was a while ago. So that's cool. So, linked services. Now, it links to iCloud, or at least the iPad does, straight away. And that's just built into it. But if you wanted to link it to Dropbox, something like that, this is where you do it. See, I only use iCloud, so I don't really know. Shortcuts. Yeah, I seen that too. So I'm trying to catch up with chat. It's all about printers and stuff that I don't know about. I can't see anything in particular that I need to be aware of. So I'll carry on. The next one, and this is really cool. So this one is reset, and you can see there's some red and some blue on here. The red ones, can you remember I was getting played by these spirals that I made, and they just kept popping up everywhere, and you've not seen a single one tonight, and this is the reason. So I found out that you can actually reset just particular things. So I reset styles, and I reset the tools just in case. And ever since I've done that, I've had no spirals, and it's awesome. The other thing I wanted to bring attention to was snapping. So if you did mess about with snapping, like I did on the last ones, you can reset snapping with the blue one, just there. So that is the settings. I think that was everything that's in settings. Yeah. So maybe that answers your question better. Just reset back to Q&A, and I'll await your next one for the next question. Anything you like, doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't have to be on Affinity, could be on any software. I'll try and answer it. If I can't answer it, I will find out and get back to you. So I'll just wait for the chat to catch up. Renee, you have no questions? Anyone else? Nikki, you either? No, making it easy for me. The question always comes later. Then ask them in the community or just comment on this video and I will bring it up the next time. That is that easy. If that does happen to you. So, any questions for this one? If not, I'm gonna have to, I don't know, do a tap dance or something because I've got nothing, so I don't know. That's normal. Yeah, absolutely. Like I say, if it does happen, no problem. Just ask in the community or ask in the comments, and I will get to it next time. I'm wanting to learn how to make people infographics moves. So like in a funny photo, you mean? Just wait for your reply. Before I do try and go to, not sure. Let me try and show you. So let's close this one and try and open up a funny photo. I haven't even got it downloaded because I didn't use it. So sorry for this. I'm just gonna wait for it 2 seconds to download. I think it's not for a funny photo. Oh, it might not be then. Oh, old photographs of people that have passed away. Oh, you can. Oh, yeah. I know what you're on about now. Yeah, I can't show you on here, unfortunately. It's on a phone app, and it's called Heritage. But if you send me the photo, I can certainly do that for you. I've done it for, I think, Bella in the past. Yeah, probably Midjourney or Grok will do it too. But yeah, Heritage is God, what do you call it? Like one of these apps where you trace your family tree, that kind of thing. But they were, I don't know what they still are. Ancestry, that's the one, that kind of thing. but it's called Heritage. Just trying to think. Oh wait, I can show you. Can we get it on the internet? Don't want that. Go to here. Heritage. App. My Heritage, that's the one. So that tree. I have to at least sign in and all sorts. So yeah, I'll have to. If you send me the picture, I can certainly do that. No problem. But yeah, they have. Yeah, it's like you get a still picture, and it like makes it move and all sorts. They are free, but you can only do about 3 at a time or something like that. There's like a limit on how many. Just go back to our Q&A in case anyone else got any questions. Yes, that's it. Good. Yeah, that is exactly the one I was thinking of. I'll show you some examples as well. Yes, we would love to see this. Unfortunately, I can't show you. I wish I could, but I can't. It's on a mobile, not on an iPad. So I can't show you doing it. But I could certainly write a little guide as to how, with like pictures and things. I'll put it in the Q&A for later. We'll show you a sample page. Yeah, that kind of thing. I'm sure I've done it for Bella at one point when I first found it, I think, and it was showing you the old like black and white photos moving like video, that kind of thing. And you have to visit Discord again. Yeah, you're always welcome. So it's all free and everything. So just jump in. So is there anything else that I could do for anything? Oh yeah, it does fixing as well. So say it's got like folds and things in the picture, it will erase these for you, that kind of thing. Or if it's like faded or on one spot, that kind of thing. Red eyes, it does all sorts of fixing of photos that have got destroyed, kind of thing. And then that was their new feature at the time, was to make them sort of like move and dance and things. I just noticed, and yeah, I don't know why it does that. You see the green. I think it's my iPad, but I've only ever seen it do it on. Oh yeah, black and white color is another thing. But yeah, I think the iPad's dying or something because it keeps going half the screen green. But interestingly, when you zoom in like on Affinity, it fixes it. So I'm not sure whether it's Affinity, but I've only ever seen it on Affinity. Yeah, Polaroids, etc. Fixing some old pictures. I'll show you on Discord. Okay, that's very cool. So I haven't really got anything else to show you? It's just settings tonight. No other questions. I think I'm gonna give my voice a rest and call it a night. If no one else has got anything, like I say, feel free to ask your questions or whatever in the community. Just come in for a chat, even. We don't mind. Great as usual. Good. I hope that was interesting, if you know what I mean. There are no more questions for this week. Yeah, cool. Okay. So I'm going to call it a night there. Thank you very much for coming. And I'll see you in the next one.